Well, got to tell you a funny story about Clarence. He was busy working away, and by the way, I was so grateful that he didn't take Christmas off at all. He just kept on working. I was so proud. Anyway, the reason that I wanted to talk about him is because Yvonne was there talking to me and Clarence snuck up behind her and hit her, and she tripped, and then she reached out for a wall to try and save herself, and then that didn't work either. I'm laughing because, luckily she wasn't hurt, but then she tripped a second time, grabbed onto a corner wall, and then luckily had enough support, but she fell to the floor. I think that's a bit too big for Clarence. Let's see. But she is fine, but I guess Clarence is something you have to know about. I must remember, yeah, it's a bit big for Clarence. He'll just push it to the side and spit it out. See that? I love how he does that. So you can see that the flowers are pretty good. And I don't know about the rest of you, but the fact that it mops is just so... I just let it mop certain rooms when they start to look a little bit unclean. So I always start with the kitchen, obviously, and then I'll take the next room that looks like it needs a bit of attention. But really happy with him. But as I said, he's in the doghouse a little bit for tripping up Auntie Yvonne. Oh, look what he found. Serious dirt. Now, what I'm going to do there, not sure where he found that, but good for you for finding it. We're just going to let him pick up those little pieces. The big one I'll take for him. So the lesson here is, if anybody comes to visit me, it's time to turn Clarence off. And then I can start him back to work when they have gone. For now. Well, hi everybody, this is DearMamaSal, and I'm out and about. Got a couple of things I need to do, and one of them is I need to go and have this next blood test that I need to have done. Now, I believe, if I understood it correctly, that this is called an A1C blood test, and that will be the base point or the benchmark from which all my other tests will compare against. In other words, this is the starting point. They will then be able to tell how well I've been doing, and I won't be able to cheat because the blood test will tell them how well I'm doing. So I can tell them that I've been eating properly and lost weight and done this and done that. They just are interested in, what does my blood show? Does my blood show that I have been doing the right things? And if it does, then obviously I'm doing the right things. And if it doesn't, they probably will roll their eyes at me and ask me why not. So, how do I feel about it? Fine. It is what it is. It's a blood test. It's going to tell me what we need to know for me to be healthy. And I am really proud of myself that even over the Christmas period, even though I was given permission to just be careful but enjoy Christmas, I worked really hard at eating better. Now, what I found out, unfortunately, was on the in my household, we do Christmas after Christmas, because everybody goes and does Christmas with the, all the people that they are duty bound to go and do Christmas with, and then when all that is finished, we do Christmas. And so I did really well over Christmas. I even lost weight, which was pretty impressive, even for me. Especially for me. And then we had Christmas. Okay. And that became a little bit more of a problem for me because Wade in particular, you know, who's downstairs, I have a rented suite downstairs, and Wade gave me lots of black licorice. Well, you know, there's no way I could say no to that. I actually inhaled. Oh, wait a minute. And Yvonne, I gave Yvonne licorice all sorts, knowing that she and I like totally different licorice all sorts. So whenever one of us gets licorice all sorts, you know, we divide it up because, you know, we know Sal likes those, but Yvonne likes these. And luckily they are totally the opposite. And so I like the little bubbly ones, the kid in me, and the straight black licorice. I'm happy. Just, you know, I don't need the rest. You can keep the rest. Just give me the little bubbly ones and the straight black. What about you guys? Do you like licorice all sorts? And if so, which ones? I found that everybody's got their own thing on that. Anyway, so then Yvonne I gave her a big packet of licorice all sorts because I'm not stupid. I knew half of that was coming back to me. And of course it did. And I inhaled them. I mean, that would be the only word to use. I thought I was going to be really well behaved, but I inhaled them. Apparently, there are weird people out today. And I am meeting them. No, this year I'm going to be... Oh, that's right. Why don't you stop in the middle of the car park with your car in the middle of the lane and have a little chit-chat with your buddy? Yeah, very, very... Now, Sal, breathe. Breathe. You promised to do better than this. Wasn't it nice of them to meet up and have a little chit-chat? There we go. All right, I've got to do my first errand. I'll be back in a sec. Don't go anywhere. Well, here we are again. On to my next stop. And just to let you know, it's getting pretty cool. It's just 2 degrees here, which would be 36 in American. So it's getting down there. The white fluffy stuff can't be far away. And you know how much I have a problem with that stuff. So, now then. Next thing is off to the blood test. I'm pleased to tell you I made a lot of people smile. I was at the post office. Made a lot of people smile there. And you know, the funny thing is that I don't have to do much. I don't know what it is about me. I just don't seem to have to do very much, and people people start laughing at me. And so it always makes my day, though. It makes my day that I am able to make people not only smile but laugh. And it wasn't just the people who know me behind the counter, but, you know, the people who were waiting in line cracked up as well. So, mission accomplished. I am a happy little camper. Now, I wanted to tell you something that happened to me this week, and for those of you who might not have heard about it, I started learning a new computer software program. You probably have seen me playing with it, where, you know, it's like a whiteboard and it writes, and that's quite a complicated program. Well, yes and no. However, it takes a bit of practice and a bit of learning. So, you know, like anything else that's new, huge learning curve. But once you sort of got it, you understand it, things are a lot easier. Well, when I was busy trying to find the information on how to do certain things, I did not find anything that was easy. anything that was easy that allowed me to do what I wanted to do. Now, being the mentality that I am, this is about, well, if I didn't find this easy, maybe there are other people that didn't find it easy. And I asked myself, do you think you could do something that's a lot easier than the things you've been looking at? And I'm going, yep. Because the videos I was looking at all had these fancy extra programs, which I didn't have. And so I thought, I can't be the only one that's going to have that problem. So what I did was Sal's simplified teaching method. Well, you know me, it was funny. And I put it up just to help one person, to be honest. If you can believe this, I probably spent 3 hours making this thing so that one person could understand the question she was asking. Well, it caused quite a stir, to put it mildly. And I've now created a monster because people now want to, where's the next video? And so this is something that I wanted to talk to you about, that some of us have got innate ability on certain areas, and you can deny it as much as you like. But one of the things, obviously, that I can do is I can take something that's pretty complicated and break it down, and with the help of humor and a few visuals, make it really easy. Now, let me give you an example. One of the things is that within this program, you have to be able to find, how to change the color pens that you use, for example. And it was interesting because, I put a little comment that, in the sidebar sort of thing, in a little comment that off to the side that said, you see this little thing here, it was the settings gear. And she said, some people call that a gear, but I call it a flower. And the reason I call it a flower is because it has colors. You see, if you paint that picture for people, they'll never forget that whenever they want color, they'll know to look for the flowers, because flowers have color. Now, I want to tell you how important that sort of mental picture is. Jody, for example, when she has been helping me, and she has, helping me with my diabetes stuff, one of the things she said to me was, Sal, make it really easy. If ever you have anything with sugar, that you've had something with sugar, then, eat meat or cheese afterwards. Now, that's a really simple thing to keep in your head. I actually boiled it down to one step more simple for my brain. And I just said, if it's sweet, eat meat, because it rhymes. So I cannot encourage you enough to have those little mnemonics going on, or whatever they're called, so that you can remember. And especially, in my case, because I'm getting older. So I find that it's just like, it's a mantra to me now. I open up the fridge, I see something that I want to eat, even if it's an apple, because I know an apple is sweeter than you think it is. And so if I grab an apple, I go, if it's sweet, eat meat. And meat to me is any protein. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't literally have to be a piece of meat. And so I literally will go, oh, an apple is sweet, so I need some meat. And I will grab, stringable cheese to go with it, to balance it out. Little things mean a lot in your life, right? I know that a lot of you have said to me, and bless you for that, a lot of you have said to me that I've said things on the broadcasts, and you can hear them. When you're going about your regular day, you can hear me saying those things. Well, I'm very honored about that, but because it's like we all need those voices in our head that help us when we're just about to do something that, we need a warning on, or that we need reminding of. So I'm off to go and have this blood test done. Far as I know, they'll only need one vial of it, I hope. Because I think you all know that I may be a generous person in my personality, but I am not a generous person when it comes to giving blood. My blood really has an issue. What do you mean you want to leave Sal's body? You know, and it just it comes out by the drip. You know, it's just like, and the other, you know, when I had to have the big set of blood tests done, they needed 4 vials. They gave up at 3.5. They just, you know, decanted, I think. That's what they did. They took a bit out of each one and made the 4th one. And so, this is the most important thing I can do today, and it's and that's what I'm trying to work on this year, is do the most important thing first, and then the rest of it can fit in if you have time or not. And this is my most important thing, so I get an extra adult brownie point on this one, because this is not something I want to do. It's not fun to do. And so I'll see you when I get back. Punctured with my little. Now they don't give me a Mickey Mouse thing anymore. I used to ask for one, you know. Bye for now.